Aliens. A new study from Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program thinks that UFOs may be a spaceship visiting their Earth-based alien friends or inside the hollow moon.
You say Harvard?
What are you talking?
Harvard.
Yeah. What's the deets to this? I saw this headline today. They're just guessing, just saying this
lay it
could
on
be a
you.
possibility.
Yeah, are they saying it's just possible, or are they saying there's a little bit of evidence?
Oh, yeah!
Good morning and welcome to episode 1482 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, June 13th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more and want to join us for trivia on Friday, June 28th. Today, nothing but shockers in the news. Wall-to-wall shocking stories. They'll take your breath away. Like Pat's right there. We got Mark. We got Will today. It's going to be electric. Shocking.
I was mouthing along the words to you, which I do sometimes during the intro.
Yeah.
And I realized I one time met a person, and I got to know if you guys have ever met anyone with this tick, but it was the weirdest fucking thing of all time. I met a person, was having coffee, group of friends, who would mouth everything that you were saying.
Nope.
I've seen that a little bit.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Everything that everyone was saying, she would mouth to herself.
It's a little strange when it happens all the time. Yeah.
It was all the time. It was full on 100% of the time. Definitely a tick of some sort.
I saw a funny tick
Some people are prone to
today.
it.
That's
Yeah.
a weird one. I've never seen that. That's a weird one. I saw a funny tick today. I caught an episode of Jeopardy, and there was an extremely autistic college student on. And he got second because he was coming up against an 11-time champion. She's pretty good, but he did really well too. And every time he got a question right, he knew every Shakespeare quote like he had them all memorized. But every time he got something good right, he went like,
Yeah.
like kind of had like a really, really weird smile and like his
he practiced. He probably practiced that celebration.
It looked like an alien smiling. Sorry, I'm
Right.
not trying to compare.
Well, that's an intermittent tick, better tick than just a constant.
It was like a weird celebration.
He may not know how to celebrate, and that was the
Yeah.
best he could do, practicing in the mirror prior to. Like,
Exactly.
I'm doing it to you guys now.
You remember this?
we got some updates today too, and happy First Friday because it is Fat Boy Summer. First Friday is every Thursday.
Let's go.
Congrats.
That's true. It is the
Congrats to you.
summer. It's hot out there.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Sure is.
I think I'm kicking the news off. Am I at the top
Real
of the
quick,
news?
We got a message. We're off, right?
We need to let all the listeners know we're observing Juneteenth on the Monday after Father's Day, so next Monday, as the government should have as well, because that would have been
Right. Well, that's
preferable
what
to
they
everybody.
do for Martin Luther King Day. His
Having a
birthday
Wednesday
doesn't
holiday.
fall on the same. It's always a Monday, but his birthday's not a Monday every year. But same with the Columbus Day, which is now Indigenous Peoples Day. He found it's not October 12th every year. It's it's the Monday.
Usually, like makes a long weekend.
make
right?
a long weekend out of it.
Instead,
You make
Juneteenth's on a
A
Wednesday. so
long
right.
weekend. And could you imagine? There are 2 long weekends in the summer. I mean, technically, if you consider 4th of July, there's 3.
Which falls in the middle of the week often.
Middle,
But there's
right.
the kickoff long weekend and the end long weekend, the Labor Day, Memorial Day. Imagine if you had a 3rd long weekend in
That's
the summer.
point of Juneteenth. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be.
There are
that
plenty of
extra
holidays that
middle.
are about a specific day, like June 19th is Juneteenth. We get that. But they're observed. They move them a couple days to get
Once they
the long
become
weekend.
federal,
Yeah.
you gotta, So
Once the
this
charges
year's
go
Wednesday.
federal.
it makes no sense having it on Wednesday. So we're gonna have the day after Father's Day off. Much better for us with all the kids and whatnot.
We'll get you a Patreon, though. We'll get you a
Yeah.
show.
We'll try to get a Patreon up, but that's also the time that our transfer to Megaphone will be complete. So just let us know if you have any issues getting the pod next week.
So
No fresh
2028. Look
That's when
forward
they're
to
moving
it,
it?
Because that's a long weekend. The 19th will be on a Monday.
Oh,
Oh, come on. No, they got to change it now.
So
They
get
can't-
something to put on the calendar now.
They should have done even if you need a bill passed, they should have done like a temporary Scotch tape thing this year to have it be a
we
long
covered Juneteenth becoming a holiday, and we were pumped. But they only did half the correct thing. You got to make
Yeah.
it a long weekend.
weekend. Right. Take it all the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
My favorite part about that story was people who are like, let's put it blankly, racist, who were like pissed that Juneteenth is becoming a federal holiday, couldn't get over their racism
It's a day of mourning.
for a federal holiday.
You want to chill out and relax and hang out. It's the summertime, you know? So like, that's what all these summertime holidays end up being, regardless of like what, you know, the original meaning is. Like you obviously honor it on that day.
There's a few people that celebrate like the end of the Confederacy and Juneteenth the same way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd be off work, so I mean, it's your prerogative.
Celebrate it, yeah, however you want.
Jeez, that's just such trash. Real quick, just an update while we're here, guys. Independence Day falls on a Thursday this year.
Yes.
So hopefully
usually
your boss is cool and gives you that Friday off because the federal holiday is just that Thursday.
In advance, we'll probably be off that day too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So put it on your calendar.
Long weekend for the boys.
No federal holidays in March or April or almost all of May. It's a long stretch. No federal holidays in August.
Oof.
Yeah.
We were saying it should be one per month. That would be smooth. At least,
Let me run them down for you real quick. You got New Year's Day, January. MLK Day, January. Washington's birthday, February. Memorial Day, May. Right. Juneteenth now, June. July 4th, July 4th. Labor Day, September. Columbus Day, October. Then you got Veterans Day, Thanksgiving in November. It's huge. And then Christmas Day.
See, August, March, and April, all missing holidays. You got to have one, okay? Either that or spread the other ones out. Make it so that we have a lot of days off, please.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone needs to recharge once a month.
Isn't that the point of robots and AI anyways? Like, you know, NVIDIA is like top of the charts. Doesn't that mean that we don't have to work anymore? I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah. The robots should be working 8 days a week.
24/7. I mean,
25/8.
Recharge. They got to recharge, but
just playing the Beatles 8 days a week while they work on a loop. Fucking losers, robot losers. Yeah. I'm not going to talk ill of them because they're going to kill us. But let's kick off the news. Right. Do. Guys, what's the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun?
A good guy with a gun.
Yeah, good guy with a gun. There you go. You know that. That's right. Let's take it over to Washington, Renton, Washington. A couple boys, 3 teenagers. They're airsoft guys, right? They got the airsoft guns. They like to go in the woods behind their houses and fire off their airsoft. Maybe they're shooting plastic bottles, maybe glass bottles if they're real bad. I don't know. But these 3 boys, they're the airsoft crew, 17-year-old boys, okay?
You gotta pick. Are these the ones that look pretty realistic? Or are these kind of cartoonish?
It's the little pellets. You know, it's the little pellets. Yeah. You never used to shoot each other. Like, you were in a fraternity. I'm surprised you didn't have like airsoft battles.
Oh, we just got drunk and banged chicks. You know, we didn't play airsoft tag.
So
people who have sex still shoot each other with airsoft guns. I mean, it's a maybe it was beneath you guys, but it happens.
I didn't have a lot of sex.
The only thing beneath us was chicks. You know what
I mean? Did shoot a lot of airsoft, and the airsoft I shot in college was painted like fun colors, like bright green with clear parts, so you could see the airsofts coming out. But they do make airsofts that are highly realistic. There's battery powered airsofts that will have like a battery powered firing pin that launches the pellet. There are CO2 airsofts. Those probably hurt worse. Those are probably ones that look more realistic. I don't know which particular airsofts these 17-year-old boys in Washington like to shoot, but I do know that they're the airsoft guys. They like to shoot them. One of the guys was shooting it so often that he had a malfunction in his airsoft gun. So the boys on June 5, about 7:30, said, why don't we go into the Big 5 sporting goods store over there in Renton, and I'm going to either exchange this airsoft or see if they'll fix it because it's just not operating right. Okay.
Fair.
So meanwhile, you got a vigilante in the parking lot, a 51-year-old man named Aaron Brown Myers. And Aaron, according to court documents, was sitting in, what was he sitting in, guys? What kind of vehicle?
Truck.
His truck. Yeah, he was sitting there in his truck, 100%, and waiting for his 13-year-old kid to come out of jiu-jitsu. I guess the jiu-jitsu place was right there next to the Big 5 sporting goods store.
He's been kicked out of jiu-jitsu class for yelling.
100%. Absolutely. He's been kicked out of jiu-jitsu class. And it just so happens that Aaron Brown Myers is a security guard by trade. Now, he's not the security guard for this parking lot in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. In fact, the only business that he had there was to pick up and drop his son off at the jiu-jitsu class. But according to Aaron, there's been a lot of crime, and you know about the crime.
Yeah, he's got to stay frosty on
Yeah.
those streets. I mean,
It's hard to shut it off, Pat.
Yeah, so he did.
When you're a weapon of war, you know, your body is just imagine the things he could do.
He's really guarding the earth wherever he is.
So,
right. The only thing of
really
war, though,
to make sure that it all stays together.
the only thing of war, though, that he is or does is he uses and co-ops their terms. Okay, that's about as far as the relationship between actual war and Aaron goes.
And one of the wears tactical gear, though.
Yes,
and fucking
he has some gear.
Believe he has gear, guys.
You know he's got
pins and patches.
He's got pins and patches. You better believe that Aaron Brown Myers, 51 years old, was conducting what all of our military listeners, and we have a lot of them, will know, something called Overwatch. He was doing Overwatch on the parking lot. He was protecting the parking lot. He was staying alert. He wasn't just sitting there on his phone, fucking off, waiting for his 13-year-old to come out of jiu-jitsu class that he's no longer allowed in. He was remaining vigilant. And when he saw 3 potentially brown in goods store, he knew that something wasn't right, and he knew that he had to act. In fact, he told the police that he had a duty to intervene. Yep. So what did he do, guys?
He crushes his beer can when he sees him.
He got out of his car and he approached the 3 boys. Okay. And I guess he said to police he immediately assumed that these boys were going to commit a violent robbery because on the sporting goods store.
Oh, I see. So his thing is he thought the airsoft guns were real, and so he's just rolling up on these kids to jujitsu them to death because they have airsoft guns in front of a sporting goods store.
Pat, what city was this in?
This is Renton, Washington, by Spokane.
He probably named his kid that. So he's like, Renton, get out here.
Renton.
I need you, Renton.
Great.
Now, according to the court documents, 2 of the 3 boys, they had their airsofts in their pockets. So I don't know if this guy was identifying a bulge or what, but he got out of the car.
That probably made it worse, though, right? Like have it half concealed, he's going to make excuses and not see, as Nick Miller points out in live chat, the orange tips on the airsoft guns.
Orange tips for life.
Yeah.
Well, he probably ripped them off to be cool. I mean, if they were trying to make them look real,
but could have.
You know,
true.
It's still a sporting goods store.
Yeah.
If this guy's so fucking vigilant, you know, he should be observant and understand that the Big 5, you know, sells guns.
They sell guns, 100%. Yeah. He was going in there they could have been just going to exchange their guns. I don't know. But point is, he got out of his car, pulled his Glock 9mm, pointed the pistol at the boys, and yelled at them to stop and drop their weapons and get on the ground.
Stand down.
The teens were freaked the fuck out and immediately complied. I mean, they were just freaked out. These are 3 teenage boys not expecting this to happen. They're just going into a sporting goods store. One of the kids immediately puts his airsoft gun on the ground and said, "It's just a BB gun. It's just a BB gun." And they said that repeatedly. Guys, these are just BB guns. They're airsoft guns. We're just going inside to exchange them. But according to the documents, 51-year-old Aaron Brown Myers said that he was convinced that one of these boys might kill him. So what did he do? He tackled one of the boys. He spear tackled him to the ground, and he pinned him to the ground. Okay. And at that point, Hazrat Ali Rohani, one of the boys, started backing away with his hands up. His hands up were like this. His fingers were pointed up. His hands were up. He's down on the ground, pinning Hazrat's buddy. And
he's got a bomb.
I guess at one point, while he was backing away, his hand moved down, and that's when Myers unloaded 7 bullets into him, killing him.
Oh,
okay.
That's not funny anymore.
So this guy, I mean, he instigated the situation. What are the crimes that have been? You know,
oh, murder.
Yeah,
murder.
Yeah. Sounds
murder.
Like
shot the guy in the back. Unloaded 7 rounds into him. The boy reportedly called for his mother before dying on the ground of the parking lot of the Big 5 sporting goods store. Sporting goods store. Aaron told police that he
a little too much Overwatch
had a duty to act and a duty to intervene. And he said he felt like he did not have time to call 911.
Okay.
He had the duty to act
Like
to stop
they do anything anyway.
right to
He's
stop the individuals from hurting.
He's gonna have
someone.
to take the insanity plea. I mean, it does sound insane, honestly. Like it.
Yeah, they could just replay the events, and then that would be
Right.
good for.
Really,
great
this
because
man is crazy.
Yeah.
They have surveillance footage from the jiu-jitsu place. They sold Myers out, and wouldn't you know it, most of the things he told police were inaccurate compared to the surveillance video. And insanity probably not going to work, Will, because back in 2002, Myers called 911 to report that a person on a bicycle was, quote, pointing guns at people. And he said that he had a pistol and he may need to intervene. There's an intervene word again.
Okay.
So he followed this bicyclist through many stores. I guess it was in a shopping center. And he's on the phone with 911. He's like, I might have to shoot him. I might have to shoot him. So this motherfucker is just ready to pop at all fucking times. This is why we need gun control, guys, by the way. Officers arrived at the scene and determined the bicyclist's item was not a gun, but a silver metal object that was possibly a part of a bicycle. Thank God he didn't kill that guy, too.
Well, what kind of a crazy person carries a gun and then expects nobody else to carry a gun? I mean, the guy is totally fucking bonkers.
Well,
They were
apparently he does
underage,
expect
Will.
all these guys to be carrying guns. He thinks the teenager
Well,
carrying
yeah,
guns.
no, but if
thinks
he
the
sees
bicyclists are
somebody
carrying
else,
guns.
he suspects of it. He then stalks them. So like, no, he thinks like he's this fucking only guy in wherever the fuck.
Well, he's
Washington.
got a little Renton,
Supposed to hold
like
it.
his son's name. Well, he's
Renton.
got a little thing called intuition.
You know what it's Washington, right, Pat? It sounds
Yeah.
like the Gary Busey's character in Black Sheep.
Similar, but that guy
Drake
actually served in the
Savage.
military.
Yeah.
Drake Savage.
Yes.
That guy actually served in the military. Look, he's not the only guy
That's true.
out there.
Fake ass Colonel Drake.
He's like a
Savage.
combination of him and Nick Nolte from Tropic Thunder.
This is becoming
Yeah.
an increasingly bad problem where guys who are too jacked up think they're a fucking hero, have a misguided sense of reality, are consuming some sort of media that's making them think that there's a problem that there's not, are shooting and killing people who are pulling into their driveway, ringing their doorbells, walking into a sporting goods store. And this isn't going to be the first time. This is going to keep happening repeatedly.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty
You'd
of
have to say we have a mental health crisis in America.
yeah,
I
that
think
goes
it's
with the
fair to
guns,
say.
the mental health thing for sure. And there's a lot of people that would consider themselves good people with guns that are not.
This guy's itching for a reason
He
to
probably thinks he's a good person.
to intervene because he's got a duty to act, and he killed someone. So
Yeah, that's why
17-year-old boy.
insanity is
Psycho.
not a bad plea.
R.I.P.
If his lawyer might want to go with that.
Yeah, his lawyers are saying he was acting in self-defense, and it'll all come out. Guys-
Insanity is the only way to go with that one.
Yeah.
Self-defense is not cutting it.
No, he'll be doing some years for murder. Guys, talk about a delicious meal. I got one from Cook Unity. It's the first chef to use service delivering locally sourced meals from award-winning chefs right to your door every week, and it's cheaper than other delivery options. So Cook Unity essentially puts together dope chefs in your area that might have a little time on their hands, right, to cook you excellent meals that are locally sourced, locally cooked. It's a situation that's unlike any other meal service, and it's absolutely fantastic. So no matter what you're craving, Cook Unity can bring you an exciting culinary talent straight to your table. They work with some of the best chefs in the country to bring creative, delicious meals to you every week. Seriously, if you're out of control, if your weight's out of control, we've all been there. Where if you're like, man, I'm just out of control. I need a reset. Cook Unity is your move. Get in there, get a couple weeks of meal plans for Cook Unity. Eat healthy. Don't tempt yourself. They're going to give you legit portions, never frozen, always fresh, and you can keep meals in your fridge for up to 7 days. And the packaging's compostable, so you won't feel like a total dickhead with a bunch of wasteful stuff. You can pick as few or as many as 16 meals per week. Meal variety, man, we're making the same stuff at my house every week, right? Except when, I got 4 Cook Unity meals that have been delivered. That was the only breakup.
No, they're
I need
a
to get back-
godsend for
now.
busy families.
In fact, I'm going to pick them
Yep.
out right now, my Cook Unities.
Yeah.
So get after it. Experience high quality chef quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/hardfactor or enter code hardfactor, one word, before checkout for 50% off your first week. So just go try a week. Pretty easy. Get 50% off. You can't afford not to.
True.
It's 50% off your first week by using code hardfactor or going to cookunity.com/hardfactor.
Thank you, Pat. First up, I got a quick update. Joey Chestnut, he said, she said with Nathan's, who cares who was at fault? Nathan's needed to get it done. Guess what? Apparently they didn't. And now it's being reported that Joey Chestnut will be going one-on-one, head-to-head versus his old rival and the original GOAT of hot dog eating, Kobayashi, on Netflix.
Whoa.
Yeah, one-on-one.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more appealing than a bunch of people who are not going to get anywhere near as many hot dogs as either of them.
Good
right?
point.
Like, because they're not gonna get nearly. Those are the best two eaters in the world.
A little bit of bad news or good news. If you're really into hot dog eating contests, you can watch them both, because sadly this one won't be on 4th of July. They couldn't get it done, as I think Kobayashi needs a little bit more time to train, because he came out earlier this week and retired and said that his stomach was in ruins from years of eating. But then the Brinks truck backed into his house with 5 to 10 million probably from Netflix, and he said, "You know what? I can go another round." And then he said, "After I beat my old rival, then I'll retire." So he probably needs to train a little bit. That's why it's going to happen on Labor Day, September 2nd, that holiday.
So have they ever battled face-to-face, head-to-head?
Yes, a couple of years, because Chestnut lost him the first time, and then Chestnut beat him, and then Kobayashi never came back to Nathan's. Then he did that rooftop thing where he tried to go head-to-head simultaneously, and I think Chestnut beat him again on the rooftop thing. So Chestnut's like at least 2-1 against him head-to-head. And he also has all the records. He beat Kobayashi.
Yeah, I mean, so it's really just a Chestnut show. Nobody's gonna get close to Joey Chestnut.
No, it's just fun to watch these two best of all time. Chestnut's gonna kick his ass, but it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
It's nostalgic. Yeah.
2010, Kobayashi did not compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating competition because they demanded he sign an exclusive contract, which Kobayashi don't play that shit.
We've heard that. So it's like, same song, same dance from Nathan's. They like to kick their goats out if they don't.
But he's not nearly as good as Chestnut and hasn't been for a long time. It's like Ric Flair coming out of retirement again to get body slammed by a current wrestler.
Yeah, they do this a lot in the WWE or even the UFC, like Matt Hughes versus the original Gracie that won the first UFC and stuff like that. It'll be fun, but don't expect much out of Kobayashi.
He was arrested that day. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for jumping on stage and trying, I guess. I don't know what he was doing. He jumped on stage.
Kobayashi?
Chestnut, but
Chestnut.
He's like, I
guess if they arrested him, it would put him in jail for resisting arrest and trespassing.
Well, you got to have a screw loose to be a competitive eater. That's a lot of shit.
They get arrested a lot.
Push yourself to a limit that most people can't.
Great point.
Yeah.
It'll be cool though. The first weekend, right before the first week in the NFL, the event is called Unfinished Beef.
That's such a great event name, dude.
Yeah, because they have a rivalry. No word on if it will be beef hot dogs or not, but it's called Unfinished Beef.
As Mark put, the beef is finished. I mean, there's no rubber match. It's like
hot dogs come pre-cooked.
Get one win.
It's true too. You're both right. Yeah, it's more like beat them again. All right. Some big things happening in court this week besides Hunter Biden and a young thug, Nicholas Tartaglione. You remember this monster?
Oh, yeah.
He's the Epstein strangler?
Yeah, the man they threw Epstein alone with in a cell in his finals day. At least that other monster, Epstein, got abused by Tartaglione, and he deserved it. That's the silver lining out of that, but that's the guy.
There was all that video evidence, though, that proved that he wasn't the strangler. Oh, wait.
Well, but before the strangling, he gave him black eyes left and right, remember? And he was making him pee himself in the corner. He was just beating the crap out of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he really gave it to him.
How do you get buys like that, like Tartaglione? Look at his buys.
Years of steroids.
Yeah, roids.
Years. Man. I mean, we're talking.
Monster.
He's been doing roids consistently.
Yeah. He has that Norwich Terrier because it makes his buys look bigger. He got a small dog.
He had German Shepherds below him, but nowhere near the buys. Well, Tartaglione was just sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences for slaughtering 4 men in Orange County, New York, 8+ years ago. The former Briarcliff Manor police officer kidnapped and then tortured and murdered family members Martin Luna, Miguel Luna, and Urbano Santiago and their friend Hector Gutierrez in April 2026. The motive is allegedly at least one of the men owed Tartaglione hundreds of thousands of dollars in a cocaine deal. And I got to say, ripping off Tartaglione is a pretty bold move.
Right.
Bad move. Is Tartaglione a Long Island guy? Is that why
Orange
he was
County,
in jail in New York? It's California.
Westchester County.
Oh, Orange County, New York. Okay, yeah, it's where Orange County. That's where they did Choppers, right? Orange County Choppers.
Yeah, it's right on the border of Jersey and New York, right? Yeah, I mean, he looks like a guy that's going to hunt you down and kill you if you owe him $20. So
and he mentions that before the deal as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing he says.
Do you see me?
Part of his terms.
I'm going to kill you if you owe me a penny.
He's also the man that would be the reigning WWE champion right now if Vince McMahon was still in charge, because that guy loved big shoulders more than Trump does. You don't even need to wrestle. If you can just pick up an adult above your head and press slam him and look like Adonis, you're the fucking champ.
He should have gone to the WWE, Tartaglione. But
yeah, he could have played a cop, like the big boss man, like the new big boss man.
Because cocaine is way more lucrative than wrestling the WWE.
Probably so. He's probably making a lot of money with those coke deals as a cop, yeah.
Good point. The family members of the deceased called Tartaglione a monster in court prior to the sentencing, and the judge agreed, saying, I agree with them. You're a monster, you fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tarts.
Monster buys.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Tarts had only one family member attending named Nuss, who probably also can lift a car over his head. And both Tartaglione and Nuss claim he's innocent and think he was framed. By who? Wimps?
Right. Yeah. You got to keep an eye on Tartaglione, because if he gets any type of like reward for what he allegedly didn't do in the cell when the cameras were off with Epstein, you got to follow him and see if he actually serves his time.
Yeah. Well,
dude, dirty cop selling coke, slaughtering, murdering child moes. That's a pretty, you could write a book.
Dude, Tartaglione, they need a movie. They need to make a movie out of this for sure. The judge, yeah, somebody needs to talk to him, because just because of he was the cellmates with Epstein. I mean, like it's not exactly a Disney flick, but
yeah,
you know, it would be badass. The judge said that the amount of evidence was overwhelming and that the giant was delusional for even claiming he's innocent. Who else could have crushed their skulls with one hand? It was either you or the mountain from Game of Thrones, and that guy lives in Iceland.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, he did a lot. I'm not going to describe the murders, but they're pretty graphic. He
crushed their skulls with
his
hand.
Did a number on these guys. All four on one, kidnapped them, murdered them in the woods badly. Okay, one more shocking court case for you. Chiquita, ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Banana?
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm Chiquita Banana, and I'm here to say I am the top banana in the world today.
Here you are.
Now you know the best.
Already beat
bananas in the land.
Damn right. You know, Chiquita. You remember? Well, it turns out she left out the part about Chiquita funding a cartel for a decade. I'm Chiquita Banana, and I fund an organization deemed terrorist by the U.S.
You know what happens to grow great in the same areas as bananas?
Cocaine.
Coca leaves, yeah.
Cocaine.
So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
That's why it
from
ends
the
up
Chiquita perspective.
Bananas. It's going to make a lot more sense why cocaine ends up in banana crates.
Also, I don't know if I think it's Dole, for example, who probably also sells bananas. That's not their main export, but Dole for pineapples. They like own so many islands that they totally just use to farm
drugs,
pineapples. Right, it takes a lot of space. The amount of fruit that they produce. I don't know where banana. I mean, that's jungle food. I bet.
Well, there's probably
they're butted up. I bet they're butted up against a cartel.
Well, it's probably not a lot of Overwatch in these giant fruit farms where there's a lot of space to grow fertile land. Probably can hide some stuff. However, Chiquita is currently in a South Florida court, or I guess that just finished, facing a lawsuit from the family members of 8 people killed by the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, or the AUC, who Chiquita gave $2 million to in the 90s and early 2000s.
Okay.
Oh, all right. 2 million?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to a cartel. Yeah.
Chiquita admitted to giving the money to the 30,000 member strong AUC, who dealt drugs and killed rivals, including destroying villages of left-wing rebels in Colombia. But they also claimed it was because the AUC forced them to. You do not say no to the AUC.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So they were like, look, we had to give them to the drug dealing cartel because they were going to kill us.
How would we get a cut of the business if we didn't give them the bananas?
Right.
I'm looking here. They also funded the FARC. FARC guerrillas. Okay.
Yeah.
Chiquita.
Look, they exist in dangerous ground. All right. Chiquita's got to do what Chiquita's got to do.
Oh, I'm looking here. A ton of cocaine was found on their Chiquita ships.
Just look at the dancing lady and nothing else. The judge told Chiquita they were full of shit, though, and ordered Chiquita to pay $38.3 million to the families this week. So they lost the case. Some of the banana workers, I guess they didn't put enough cocaine in the crates for the AUC's liking. So they killed them. And Chiquita was held partially responsible for the murders that the AUC was committing on their grounds to their workers, to union workers. And a second case against Chiquita with more family members of deceased is set to begin July 15th. So
Chiquita is getting it
is
from
not-
all sides here.
Yeah.
So, hey, is Chiquita publicly traded? Because it sounds like a time to like buy the dip, right? Because they're coming back with more cocaine-filled bananas.
I mean, look up Chiquita stock.
They're owned by the Safara Group and Cultural, who might be
so
publicly traded.
They might take, a dump, and then you might want to hop on that because Chiquita, I mean, they're going to be around forever.
It's up. Stock's up.
They're not going to change their ways. They just won't get caught again for a while.
Safra Group, the Safra Group.
I see CQB on the board, Chiquita Brands International, on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's up about 20. It's up about it's up in the past year. It's up like 50%.
Well, yeah, but if it tanks now because of the cocaine lawsuits, that's when you pounce.
Yeah,
all in on Chiquita because it's a solid product. It's never going away.
It's way down from Actually, it's way down from. Or this is a different one from a while ago, but in this chart, in the past day, sorry, and it's way down in the past year. I'm wrong. It's way down the past year. Like, it was at like 40, and then now it's at like 14.49. But today it went from 10.6 to 14.49 in closing. So people are buying that dip.
I mean, that's smart. That's a smart one. That's the play.
The lawsuit's out of the way.
Chiquita's gonna bounce back. Yeah.
Well, you got another chance July 15th after they lose another one.
But
I'm reading here. They also paid $27 million back in 2019 for the same thing.
Yeah, of course. It's not going to change. You think it's going to change?
Well, there's thousands of family members that can sue them because the AUC killed, tens of thousands of people.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's the cost of making bananas. Okay.
Yeah.
Shipping them worldwide. That's how it works in the banana industry.
It's a dangerous game.
What a wild industry.
No one's getting Charlie horses though.
Dude, is that why they kept finding cocaine in bananas?
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, I'm thinking I'm starting to think there's a correlation.
And also bananas grow in tropical climates where cocaine's produced. So I mean, it's like it
sounds like cartels go to the biggest banana suppliers and they say, we're going to be working with you.
Coconuts, bananas, pineapples. I mean, come on. Smack the cocaine right in.
You got any ships?
Avocados too.
Yeah, we know you have ships.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you stick a Chiquita?
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah. All right. More shockers to close out the show. Something's up. Mercury in retrograde, maybe. Maybe we're in a crazy part of the universe as the galaxy spins, Like apparently we haven't been on the same side since the dinosaurs were around right now. Maybe that's why it's hot. Who knows? The CERN, maybe that's making everything nutty. I don't know. What do you guys think it is? Why things are crazy?
I just saw a CERN trivia question. They were like, did they start the internet?
That was Al Gore.
No, I know it was Al Gore, but I think that Al Gore lied, and I think it was the CERN. British scientists at CERN invented the World Wide Web, and they released it from the CERN location in 1989. So the CERN's been behind some shit.
Yeah. Some people say it's DARPA, CIA.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, everybody's going to take credit for it, just like Al Gore. But something's up. And if you don't believe me, just look at Alaska, where some of the rivers have turned bright orange from acid and metals escaping the permafrost at the same time together, making a sort of neon rust color filling up the rivers. Okay. Northern Alaska.
Whoa, that's very bright.
That's weird, right? Yeah.
That is weird. I'm glad that it's not, some corporation dumping chemicals into the river.
No, it's just the earth.
Chiquita banana.
Just the earth eating up.
I'm glad that's not down in Colombia.
It looks like banana colored water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They might want to get their hands on it. It could be good for growing like nutrients. The Communications Earth and Environment Journal published on May 20th. They say that there's a corner of Alaska about the size of Texas with at least 75 of these rusty rivers right now. And you could see how water in Alaska is typically like crystal clear everywhere. The rivers, the lakes, the ocean.
Looks like lava.
This shit turns it bright orange. Looks like lava. Yeah.
You get one or the other.
Real quick, Rusty Rivers, such a good male porn star name.
Oh,
yeah.
Rusty.
Or like country music name.
Either way.
Yeah. Who sucks dick on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Country star who sucks dick on camera.
Rusty
for money.
Rivers might be gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rusty Rivers will do it. He's down for anything, just like you, Rusty Rivers are. And the bad news, though, for animals or people that get around Rusty Rivers is that the zinc, nickel, copper, cadmium mixed with permafrost water that's about the same acidity as lemon juice or vinegar combines to mean that animals better not be drinking the toxic ass rusty water because it's toxic.
The lemon juice will. I mean, people don't realize it's so corrosive, like dangerously corrosive.
Oh, dude, it'll like get it in your eye. It'll fuck you up. Man.
I'd prefer not to.
Yeah, it's great for cleaning. Great for cleaning.
Yeah. If your pan's like got really gritty stuff on it, get some lemon.
Get it in my eye. That's what Rusty Rivers said.
Yeah, he does.
That's also a song on his album.
Get it in my eye. Because it's used to it.
Stinging. All right. Not only Rusty River,
but work me like lemon juice.
It's not just Rusty Rivers, guys.
Did you have lemons for breakfast? Is the name of the song.
Ow!
Not just Rusty Rivers, guys. Honest to God, aliens. A new study from Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program thinks that UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, may be spaceships visiting their Earth-based alien friends, or they may live here underground on Earth. They don't really know. Or inside the hollow moon.
There you go.
Yeah. Any of those things. They think that could be UFOs. Or
you say Harvard?
What are you talking?
Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard.
Well, what's the deets of this? I saw this headline today. What's the deets of the study? This is just they're just guessing, just saying this could be a possibility.
Yeah, are they saying it's just possible, or are they saying there's a little bit of evidence?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're just saying these are the possibilities. And again, this is Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program that published this report. Whether these aliens are future humans come back in time, some other form of evolved life that either split off from humans a long time ago on Earth, or is evolved life from somewhere in outer space, or even powerful entities on another plane of Earth's realities, like angels or other mythical creatures.
What is this like a Harvard Onion article?
No, they're serious. They're serious. The theory is that the space inside the potentially hollow moon and under Earth's crust would give these aliens that they're calling crypto-terrestrials more than enough real estate to have their own places where they live, in our zone.
We've got those hollowed out areas the sizes of the Pacific Ocean under the Earth.
Yeah, so they could be taking advantage of that, and they could potentially easily blend in on Earth's surface as well, if they're more evolved than humans or whatever. So they think that there's a possibility aliens could be among us at Harvard.
I remember about a year ago, I got made fun of because I said we don't know what's beneath the surface. Now there's 7 certain layers you get taught, and there's the crust and the mantle and all this stuff, but then it just says the core. And I was saying some of that's bullshit. They know a couple layers, some of that's bullshit. That's why they have those huge gaps on the other side of the oceans. And then all of a sudden scientists came out and officially said they were wrong about the core. And there's something else completely else down there. And they don't know what it is, but it's not a ball of fire or metal like they said it was. They just came out a year ago and scientists said we were wrong about the core of the Earth. So
that's the beauty about science, Mark. You're right until you're proven wrong. Right. And that's how science works. And that's the entire thing. And so even though this study is a little bit hard to believe on its surface, take it with a grain of salt, because surprisingly, coming from Harvard, the intentions are actually good. The title is The Crypto-Terrestrial Hypothesis, a case for scientific openness to a concealed earthly explanation for UAPs. So Harvard, just like us, wants to get Nancy Mace inside the skiff, so that we learn what all these UAPs are from the military. But that's what they're asking for.
So not a study, but a hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
But we got to get. There's got to be some backup for their hypothesis, right?
They should have left out the angels, guys. There's no doubt about it.
What was the article you did? You did a thing last time where the guy said it could be werewolves, vampires, or it sounds like that one you did where the guy could be a lot of these ghosts, vampires, angels. Pick one. Don't do time travel, aliens, and angels in the same article.
Are they calling them USOs, Will?
UAPs, I think.
Yeah, the USOs. I mean, so what's
UFOs and UAPs.
I pulled it up now. It's There's in the article they're putting USO, whatever that stands
Well,
for.
because they have
NUAP.
they're calling it the crypto terrestrial. So they're saying they don't know where aliens could be from. It could be from any of those sources,
Right.
future humans, like other entities on Earth, outer
Here's
space.
But they haven't identified a physical alive thing that there's not.
Well, here's
like,
what's cool.
No,
heat projections. They're just
No.
saying there's a lot of open spaces that.
But they're saying where could UAPs be from,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is their.
Just pulling the article up. What's cool is they're referencing all of the sightings, right?
Right,
That
it's
have
based
happened
around
over the
sighting
years.
information.
Right, which is that's just cool that academics are looking at these sightings and saying okay, we're going to collect them, because for years and years and years and years, the media and the government gaslit anyone that identified a sighting,
Yeah,
right? So
But
there's so much that
they'll still gaslight today, and so you never know anything that comes out from a public institution. It's hard to gauge.
I mean,
the-
Harvard has fallen on hard times in the past 5 years. This is like a palm to the head at some people at Harvard.
it's just a hypothesis.
It's got to be a little embarrassing for some at Harvard, yeah, especially after all the
Did you say
anti-Semitic
Radford
stuff.
or Harvard?
Yeah, so it's yeah.
One of the
No,
guys went to
we're having
Montana
weird
Tech.
year.
Okay.
Is the author? But yeah,
Nice. And another sign that might not be all that bad, because that one wasn't actually that bad at all. They have no idea if there's aliens here. A white buffalo has been born at Yellowstone National Park this summer. And the Native American Lakota mythology is essentially based completely around the sacred white buffalo, bison. And it's being assigned to their tribe that things should get better if people work hard and take advantage of what the world has provided for them. The last white buffalo was born in Wisconsin in 1994, and we all know how good the movies were that year. So this could be a great sign.
If you want to
The
see
new
some
white
angry Indians steal that buffalo,
Pulp Fiction.
They've already they've named it. They won't tell anybody else the name, but the
Okay.
Lakota know the name, and the buffalo is in Yellowstone.
he who should not be stolen is probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves, maybe.
Pulp Fiction. You said 94. Shawshank.
Shawshank. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Forrest Gump. I mean,
Forrest Gump,
it's
Shawshank,
nonstop.
Pulp Fiction.
So many
yeah.
good movies. The original white buffalo in Lakota mythology was a goddess who gave the tribe religion, smoking pipes, and other useful tools and hunting skills. And great stuff, right? All the best stuff. And her appearance is the sign that times will improve if you use what she's brought you. Pretty cool, mythology from the Lakota. Yeah, so
Couple
like
more True Lies, Dumb and Dumber, Speed.
Well,
So Natural Born Killers. So Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I mean,
See?
it's changed my
94.
life.
that's the last white buffalo. So we got one now in 2024. Could be great things. So
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
When I watched that kid, I remember as a kid, I remember saying to myself, when I grow up, I'm going to show this to my children, and I'm living by that promise to myself. Just as soon as they're of age.
Assholes in the mirror may be closer than they appear. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Life-changing
there's a
movie.
future Ace Ventura Pet Detective
Oh
watcher.
yeah, we might go watch
Mhm.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective right now.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else for the
Mm-mm.
show
Mhm.
today?
No.
Nice. All right, that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Thank you for listening. Remember patreon.com/Hard Factor if you want to join us for trivia on Friday, June 28th, and up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.